Hello and welcome to Business Advisory and Tax Tips. This is your weekly update on the second stimulus and also a little bit about the PPP program for loan forgiveness. There is a new form. First, I'm M Burke coming to you live from Annapolis, Maryland. Many of you know that after 30 years in the corporate tax world, I went out on my own in January and formed Health and Taxes LLC. The only two things that are certain in life, death and taxes. Let's flip it to make it health and taxes. I come to you each week live here on Facebook and also on YouTube. So if you don't catch it live, please look at the link I'll post later and watch it on my YouTube channel, and please like and subscribe it, share it. Any support would be appreciated. But I come to you at 5 p.m. Eastern each Wednesday with some tax tips and updates. Today, unfortunately, we're still watching a very slow ping pong game where it's just back and forth, back and forth. I keep hoping that we'll have good news. I keep hoping that we'll have some sort of second stimulus. But we know right now that the Senate will be returning to session next Monday, the 19th, and that they're planning then to work on separate standalone bills. And they said today that their first priority is a second Paycheck Protection Program, so a second round of PPP, that their second priority will be unemployment. So I'm assuming the third priority will be a stimulus check. Anyway, so we still haven't got any ground. We've been up and down, back and forth with what's going on in the House, what's going on in the Senate, what's going on from what we hear for support from the White House. So it just continues. So please keep tuning in. I'll keep you up to date as I hear something new. Meanwhile, if you extended your individual or your business returns, they are due tomorrow, October 15th. So hopefully you're not working on them last minute, or your accountants aren't working on them last minute. But if you are, make sure that you get those returns for 2019 postmarked or electronically sent tomorrow. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the existing PPP. Again, that's the Paycheck Protection Program, because I want everybody to understand that for the loan to be forgiven, that you must, it's not automatic. You must file a forgiveness form. And right now there's 3 forms, and a new form came out just last week. So first, let's talk about the new form. The new form is called the SBA, that's the Small Business Administration Forgiveness Form 3508S. And the S is for simplified. And it is truly simplified. It is really a one-page where you're putting information at the top, and then you've got 8 representations and certifications of the data that you have to check off and agree to. Who can use the new form, this new S version? It can be used by anybody who received $50,000 or less of PPP money. So $50,000 or less, this form is for you. It does have one benefit. The self-employed can use it just like the other forms, but the one benefit is you don't have to put any numbers on it. You're certifying, you don't have to put any numbers on it, meaning you don't have to say how much you use for the qualified cost. You still have to qualify, you just don't have to put it on the form. And the one exemption from the other forms is if you're below the 50,000 or below, you don't have to, within the covered period, you didn't have to meet the criteria that you did not reduce annual salary or annual wages of any employee by more than 25%. And you do not have to did not reduce the number of employees or the average paid hours of employees. So those two tests you don't have to qualify for to get the loan forgiven. You still have to, as all qualified, 60% or more of the cash, the loan amount, has to be used on payroll cost. And then the other allowed expenses are mortgage interest, business rent and business lease, and business utilities. So if you meet that criteria, you can get up to 100% forgiveness. If there's some lesser percentages, then that amount will be forgiven. The remaining amount will have to be repaid. A reminder that the form, well, let's talk about the other two forms. So the original form that came out, the forgiveness form, was called just 3508, Form 3508 through the SBA. And that was really, really complicated. It came out in June, and even people's accountants were having trouble filling it out because there was just so much information required and so much documentation. So then Congress was asked to have a simplified form. So in July, Form 3508 EZ came out, and the EZ is only 2 pages. It's much easier. You put in there your payroll costs, your mortgage interest, your business rent and lease, your business utilities, the amount of the loan you got, and show what the percentages are and how much forgiveness that you're asking for. So remember that these have to be approved before it's forgiven. So you fill out the form, you submit it back to your lender at SBA, and then you will be notified within 60 days of how much has been actually forgiven. So the EZ can be used by anyone that's looking for that loan forgiveness, and I highly recommend using the EZ over just the 3508. But if you're a small business and you got less than 50,000 or less, please use the S because it's very simple. What I do want you to know is that you have 10 months from the time that the end of the loan covered period, or when you start making payments on the loan, to file for the forgiveness. But if you've spent the money already and you've on all the qualified expenses, I would encourage you to fill out the form now. Get that over with, get it done, get qualified. Don't wait the 10 months after the loan covered period ends. Just encourage you to do that. Other thing I want you to know is that you are required to keep your records for 6 years from the date the loan is forgiven or repaid. So all the documentation submitted with the loan application, any proof of the borrower's certificate eligibility for the PPP loan and material compliance with the PPP requirements, and any backup to the loan forgiveness application, any records of your expenses that you paid. So keep those records for 6 years. That's a lot of times tax records is 3 years from the time of filing, but this is coming out recommending that you keep it for 6 years. So I just wanted to mention that to you. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that kind of hits it, but the main point is that the loan forgiveness is not automatic. It must be applied for. So I just really want to make sure you're aware of that. So again, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for coming in and listening to me either on Facebook Live or YouTube. Please check out my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate any support. If you have topics that you would like me to talk about in the next coming week or weeks, please comment below, and I'm happy to address whatever topic that you're interested in. But thank you all for watching, and hopefully we have some better news next week. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.